All right. So let's get started. So what are we going to learn today? Did you guys get a chance to see what I had? Yes, Aranya. I had posted something in the group chat. Okay, let me read it for you guys and then we will get started. So the topics that we are going to cover today are primarily around linear relationships, related word problems, how do we translate word problems into linear equations, then interpreting linear equations, and then graph of linear equations, and then understanding the slope and intercepts. Alright? And this topic, I'm pretty sure this is something not new for you guys, okay? This is something that you would have dealt with in the past, previous classes also. So what we will be dealing with in this class is going to be primarily around how do we deal with word problems, how do we interpret word problem, how do we translate word problem into equations, and then how do we go about solving it. Does that sound like a good starting point, or?
Yep, it sounds good to me.
Okay, all right. So first of all, what is a linear equation? Is that too stupid a question, or somebody wants to just answer it? Yes, Dave.
Then equations like an equation that progresses at the same rate of change throughout. So
Yeah.
like by 2 or by 3.
Okay. Anybody else? Any other point of view? Yes, Sahit. Where is Lopurvi? So I don't see Daivik and Arush.
I don't think they're joined yet.
Okay. Alright. So linear equation, as Dave mentioned, it's something that progresses at a constant pace. Now, let me give you guys some lame examples. This situation and this situation. This one is a representation of a linear equation or a linear growth, because you can predict if you have gone this far and you see this trajectory, if you, let's say, if you move 2 more units on the x-axis, it will grow with a predefined or predictable pace. That's what is a linear equation, and I'm pretty sure you guys have dealt with linear equation in the past. So, okay, before I delete with this one. So here, this is not a linear equation because how things are progressing is not predictable enough compared to this guy. Yeah? And this is a very subjective representation, so just digest this from that point of view. Now, mathematically you guys have seen that, okay, if I have an equation which is relationship between x and y, if I am saying 4x minus 3, it's a linear equation because the maximum power to the variable is 1. Here if you look at the 2 variables, x and y, and the maximum power is 1. And that is what, when you try plotting it on a graph paper, it will draw a straight line for us. So that's what is a linear equation. So far, digestible to everybody? Yeah? Okay. Now, so when you talk about linear equation, in the previous class we talked about different forms of linear equation. And I assume that you guys know about it, and you guys are able to recall it from the previous class as well. So when we talk about any linear equation, there are 2 ways you can represent any linear equation. One is called slope-intercept form, and second one is the standard form. So these are like, this is called the standard form, and this is called the slope-intercept form. Now, both are same thing, just 2 different representations. If you represent that in the form of a standard linear equation, you will relate it to this one. So if you have this equation that we are claiming as a linear equation, we can write this in the form of standard equation. We can write that in a standard form like, okay, we'll say, okay, it's 4x minus 3 equal to 0, meaning we'll bring everything on one side. So y also goes to this side. Here it's plus y becomes minus y. And now you can relate. This is in the same form where value of a is equal to 4, value of b is minus 1, and value of c is minus 3. Same way, this is already written in the slope intercept form. Y equal to mx. Here value of m is 4 and c is minus 3. Okay. So these are two forms that I'm just helping you as recall. Okay, I'm not teaching this right now because I'm going with the assumption that we are already aware of it. We will look at the application of this when we are dealing with the word problems. Now, just to help everybody recall, this m is nothing but your slope. So if you are looking at the slope intercept form, y equal to mx plus c, here this m is nothing but the slope and c is the y-intercept. So if you pick up this equation, saying this is a slope intercept form and this is a slope, what it means is slope of any linear equation or any line for that matter. I mean, a linear equation translates into a straight line, right? So a slope of any line is nothing but how steep or shallow it is. Now if you look at this has a lower slope, this is a higher slope, this is the higher slope, this is even a higher slope. Meaning, slope in simple way if you relate, right? You will say slope is less, slope is more, slope is even more. What does it mean? Slope means how is your y value changing for every change of x. So here if you look at it, let's say this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 1. This is my x coordinate, this is my y coordinate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just doing some guesstimation here, okay? So when my x value changes from 1 to 2, in this case if you see, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is my y-axis, this is my x-axis. In case of this is line 1, this is line 2, this is line 3, this is line 4. Now if you look at this guy, when your x changes from 1 to 2, for every change of x, how much has your y changed? From probably 0.3 to, so y changed by this much, this distance, which is probably 2/3 of 1, 0.67. I'm just doing some approximation. I'm saying this has less slope, meaning for every change of x, it is changing by 0.67. Now if you look at this guy, where I'm saying it has higher slope, look at this. How much did the y value change? So here, x is 1 and this point, x is 2. Now if you look at how much your y has changed, it is certainly from 1 to 2. It has changed by 1 unit. So here in this case, when I was saying that the slope is less, my y value has changed by 0.67 for one unit change of x. When I'm saying this is a higher slope, and then when I look at the value of y that has changed between 1 and 2, it is close to 1. So more than this. If you look at the third equation where we have seen that it is much more steeper, meaning much higher slope. If you look at this, between 1 and 2, how much y has changed? See? Y has changed from 2 to 3.5. For one change of x, y has changed by 1.5. So this is the way we relate. So when you look at any equation, any linear equation, when you see the line, the slope of that says how steep or shallow it is. Here it is shallow, steeper, much steeper. Here, for one change of x, you will see y has changed by so many units or so much value. So in simplest form, slope of any line is nothing but how shallow or steep it is, and what that means is for every change of x, every 1 unit change of x, how much your y has changed. That's what would be our interpretation of slope. Does that make sense to everybody, or I am getting you guys more confused? Jana, Dev, Krish, Sahit, Ritika. Nirunya, Ria, everybody okay, right? Okay, so whatever I was doing so far, it was nothing but a jump start. Now let's look at some interesting problems and then we'll see how do we relate. Okay. So let me pick up some of the problems, and trust me, I am one of the most horrible teachers who bothers the kids more. So I will let you guys also work with me and solve the problem. So let's wipe it off and start with a clean slate. So let's pick the first problem. Okay, I'm picking the first problem, and this is an interesting word problem. So Jana, for you beta, this is the first class, so you have to know about what is ran. Who wins the race depends on how he or she ran. That's the basic theory that we follow in the class. What ran means is R stands for read, A stands for analyze, and N is for Nike. What is the slogan of Nike? Just do it. What it means in simplest form for everybody who has heard it so many times from me is, when you have a problem to solve, make sure that you're not jumping onto solving it in the first go. Read the question enough, analyze, meaning make your blueprint, your plan for solving it, and then you go to Nike, then you do it. So if you do this work thoroughly, you will see that solving the problem becomes much easier and the chance of going wrong gets minimized. Okay? So this is an onboarding that I do for every child who joins the first class. Okay? So Jana, this was for you, beta. And everybody else has heard me so many times. So I know some of the kids were waiting for me to be done. So now let's apply RAND to solve this first problem. This one says T equals 3.5 T. P equals 3.53 T plus 100. This is the equation given. The amount of money that farmers in Massachusetts paid to maintain their crops between 91 to 2008. So T is the amount of money somebody paid in Massachusetts. Okay, I'm having difficulty in pronouncing that word, but just bear with me. So the amount of money the farmers paid in that place to maintain their crops between 1991 to 2008. So P represents the money the farmers paid for this duration. That's the first line of the question. Is modeled by the equation above. So amount of money the farmers paid from this to this year to maintain their crops is modeled by this equation, where P is the amount of money paid, the farmers paid in millions, and T is the year, assuming 1991 is T equal to 0, and T is the year. What does the 3.53 mean in the equation? What does 3.53 mean in the equation? Okay. So let me repeat this question. Okay. So that is why I'm emphasizing on this. Right. I'm reading this. I read this question once. I'm reading it one more time for you guys so that there is no doubt around how do we interpret this. So it says this is the equation that represents P is the amount of money the farmers paid between this year to this year in $1 million for maintaining their crops. So P is the amount and T is the number of years starting from 1991. So that's what it says. Assuming 1991 is T equal to 0. So if you relate this, it says meaning when you are in 1991, the first year, how much money did the farmers pay? Farmers paid. For 1991, T was equal to 0. 1992, T became 1. 1993, it probably would have become 2. I mean, that's my interpretation from the question, okay? I'm not still trying solving it. So I'm just trying to wrap my head around this one. Saying, okay, fine, this is the model that says how much money farmers paid after certain years during this period, okay? So if somebody says find out how much money they paid for 2010, you will say okay, this is outside the definition of this equation. So now it says, what does 3.53 mean in this equation? And here are the options that you have. So far we are just reading the question. We are in the first part of the question and we did a little bit of analysis. We just thought about what does it mean. First option says, what does 3.53 mean in this model? It says the cost of maintaining crops was $3.53 million in 1991. First option says cost of maintaining the crops was 3.53 million in 1991. This is the first option. Second option is the cost of maintaining crops was $3.53 million in 2008. Third option is the cost of maintaining crops increased a total of $3.53 million between 91 and 2008. So third option says the cost of crops increased by this many $1 million between 1991 and 2008. Fourth option is the cost of maintaining crops increased by $3.53 million each year between 1991 and 2008. Now look at this. We have beaten this problem to death. I read this question so many times. This is the model given to us where P means the total amount, the money paid in $1 million by the farmers in a state, in a city. I'm purposefully not calling out the name so that my tongue doesn't get stuck. So this model says this is the amount paid and T is the number of years where T is equal to 0 for 1991. So just by looking at this model, we are given 4 options. It says, what does 3.53 mean here? And these are 4 options that we are given. Now, this doesn't need any calculation. This just needs, how do we interpret a mathematical model or an equation to interpret? So what would be your option that you guys will be leaning on? So we read, we analyzed, and now we are calling out Nike. So I need help from you guys. I don't know how to solve it. What is your thought? Which option you are leaning on, guys? Let's hear everybody's point of view. Did everybody hear the question clearly? Okay, Saranya, Aswita, Nirunya, Jena, everybody? Okay. So now tell me what is going in your mind now. Which option you are leaning towards? No idea? Sara, Neil? No answer?
I think 3. I'm not sure.
You are taking 3.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll give 1 vote to 3. And Jenna, unfortunately you are trapped with a very bad teacher who bothers everybody, okay? So again, see here, it's not about me solving the problem. I'm just trying to give you guys a guidance to align your thoughts, how to solve it, okay? So don't get scared. I don't believe in doing any problem without solving it, but I'm just giving you guys some clue. How would you approach this? So I'm again reading this question one last time, okay? So that this question says, this is the model given to us where P is the amount paid by farmers in a city between 1991 and 2008, where P is the amount and T is the year. And how you have to interpret T is, for 1991, T was 0. So every year you will keep on incrementing T by 1. So here from this equation it's asking us, what is the meaning of 3.53? How do you read 3.53? So Purvi has given one answer, and I don't know whether this is right or not. I don't want anybody to get biased by what Purvi said. Let me hear everybody else. Chris, what do you think? Sahid, Saranya. Yep, go ahead.
I'm solving it right now.
Is there something to solve?
Well, like I'm thinking about it.
Okay. Okay. Haswita, Nirunya, what is going in your mind, beta?
I'm not thinking.
Still thinking. Neil and Sarah, what is cooking up?
I'm thinking, sir.
Still thinking. Okay.
I got an answer.
Yep, tell me what is the answer.
I think it's 4.
You think it's 4? So now 4 is not feeling lonely, it also has got a vote. And again, I just wrote a very cryptic form of the answer. First option says, what is the meaning of 3.53? That was the question. First option says that the farmer had to pay $3.53 million for the year 1991. That was the first option. Second option says the farmer had to pay $3.53 million for the year 2008. Option 3 says the farmer had to pay more than 3.53 million more. Let me read the third option. The cost of maintaining crops increased a total of 3.53 million between 9. So cost of maintaining crops increased by 3.53 million between 1991 and 2008. Option 4 says the cost of maintaining the crops increased by $3.53 million each year between 91 and 2008. So Jana, what's going in your mind, brother?
I think it's the last one.
You think the last one? So votes increasing for the last one.
I also think it's the last one.
And this is going to the majority segment, okay? How about Nirunya, Saranya?
I just answered.
You just answered, okay. Haswita and Saranya's name was appearing right next to each other. I read that as Haswita. So Haswita, what do you think, beta?
I'm not sure yet.
Okay. All right. So again, Jenna, you said 4, right?
Yes.
Okay. So unfortunately, in the first class, all the kids become a victim of my innocent questions. Okay. So Jenna, I want to hear from you. But just tell me why you think it's 4. What is going in your mind? I'm just trying to read your mind. Okay, without any presumption.
I think it's 4 because earlier when you were writing down the years, it's like you said 1992 would be like 1 or something. So wouldn't that make sense that 3.5 million would increase every single year till 2008?
Yeah.
So that's what I was thinking.
Okay. So let me pick another child. Saranya, you also said option 4. Did you think the same way like Jenna said?
Yeah.
Chris, same approach?
I didn't understand what she was saying, but what my approach was that since 3.53 is being multiplied by t, and t represents usually something like time, or in this case it's a year. So that means every time you increase that number, it's adding the year. So that means like if it's 2, that means 2 years you're paying 7.06 million.
Okay. So basically Jana and Saranya said the same thing.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And Purvi, give me your thoughts. Again, I'm just trying to understand that. In what made you think it's 3?
Okay, yeah, so I was like also kind of confused between option 3 and 4. And for me, like, yeah, their explanation makes a lot more sense now.
Right.
But I thought it was 3 because, like, the question, like, I got confused with the question. Like, it said the years between 1991 and, like, 2008. So I thought the question was asking the time combined, like, all those years. So if it was that, then I think C would make sense, but it's not.
Alright. See, here, whoever gave the right answer, whoever gave a different answer. So I am kind of agreeing to the fourth option, but then see what Purvi said makes a lot more sense to me. And this is what I keep insisting on. This is called community-based learning. You guys can literally make me redundant, because if you guys think, no, in a certain way, when you exchange information among each other, right, you will see that it becomes a lot more easier, right? So here, for all the kids, I keep on saying this, and I'll keep on saying that. Whenever you learn something, practice something, come across an interesting problem, don't hesitate to share that in the group, because you guys will learn from each other a lot. I am spending only 2 hours every weekend, and when you guys share, exchange information, this whole learning experience will get double, triple, quadrupled, or even more. Okay? So, and that's the reason, Jana, when I was saying that, no, you are trapped with a very bad teacher, I was saying that I make you guys think. Okay, that's my main purpose. I will explain the concepts, but then how you practice it, how do you bring your brain out of your comfort zone and think about it, that's what will make you, much more comfortable with the concepts. Okay? So, does that make sense to everybody? Neil, Sarah, Nirunya, Ritika, everybody, all the kids who were quiet, I hope everybody is on the same page with respect to how we have to solve that problem. Okay. I'll take that silence as a yes, and let's move on. What happened, Ritika? Very quiet today?
Yeah. Sorry, I was thinking, I had to go off about that last one, sorry.
No worries, Ritika. No, so again, it's all about engaging, right? So that's why I keep bothering you guys, and it's a post-lunch session, so it's very normal to feel sleepy. So it's my responsibility to wake you guys up also in between. Alright, let's pick up the next question. And again, we'll use the most torturing concept. Okay? Same problem. This is another word problem. Let me read it for you guys, and let me know if I'm speaking very fast. So now Jana must be thinking, right, why this old man takes out his glasses while reading. See, glasses were working fine for me till I was much younger. Now I see better without the glasses. Okay? So now let me read this question for you guys. This says, come on. Farah watched 2 different TV shows last week. Farah, my friend, your friend, somebody else's friend, she watched 2 different TV channels last week. TV show A had 11 minutes episode. So TV show A had 11 minutes episode. 11 minutes episode. And I'm just writing it, okay? So when you guys are solving this problem, right? This is the scratch work that you would want to do, because it's very tedious to go back to the lengthy verbose question, right? So you want to keep taking out the key part from the question that you're trying to read. Farah watched 2 different TV shows last week. TV show A had 11-minute episodes, and TV show B had 43-minute episodes. So B had 43-minute episode. Okay. Together she spent 196 minutes watching TV shows. She spent 196 minutes watching TV shows. Which equation model this relationship where A is the number of TV show A episodes and B is the number of TV show B episodes? So some equation we are writing where A will represent TV show A number of episodes, A episode, and small b will represent TV show B episodes. Now we have these equations. Okay? I'm just writing those options. A says A by 11 plus B by 43 equal to, let me clean it up. There are 4 options given. A by 11 plus B by 43
equal to 196.
Second option is
Let me use capital letters so that it doesn't get you guys confused.
second option is
11A plus 43B equal to 196. Option C says 11 plus 43 AB equal to 196, and option D says 11 plus 43 A plus B equal to 196.
So let me read this question one last time and then I would go for the voting that I do. So it says, Farah watched two different TV shows last week. TV show A had 11-minute episodes and TV show B had 43-minute episodes. Together she watched 196 minutes watching TV shows. Together she spent 196 minutes watching TV shows. Which equation models the relationships where A is the number of TV show A and where A is the number of TV show A episodes and B is the number of TV show B episodes Farah watched. So now, everybody heard the question? See, somebody watched two types of TV shows. TV show A, TV show B. TV show A has 11-minute episodes, TV show B has 43-minute episodes. Some of you who are fan of K-drama, K-pop and all those things, you can relate it with that. These are your K-drama shows and these are the summary of the news channel, news episodes that I watch. So that's a differentiation here. So this one is 18-minute show and this is 43-minute show. Okay, per episode. And she spent total 196 minutes watching the shows, A and B both. Which of this model here represents the time that she spent for watching the show? Where A is the number of episodes that she watched for TV show A and B is the number of episodes that she watched for B. Let's see what Ritika has to say. Yes, Ritika.
So I think it's B.
You think it's B?
Okay. How about Chris?
Yeah, I have B.
B. Jana?
B.
You also B. So, okay, one stupid question. Jana, can you pronounce your name the way you speak?
It's Jannah.
Jannah. Okay, alright. I will try my best, okay? Though I'm getting old, learning at this age is difficult, but I'll try my best. Okay? Jannah. Jannah. Okay. Purvi, how about you?
B.
You also B. Okay. How about Dave? Same thing, B. C. How about all other kids? Neil, Sarah, Nirunya, Haswita, Saranya.
I think it's B.
You also think B?
I also think it's B.
B. Ria. Ria is also very quiet today. What happened, beta? All good?
Yeah.
I'm still working on it? Okay. Sahid?
I don't know, I'm still solving.
Still solving it. But everybody heard the question, okay, right? Okay. So Neil and Sarah, what do you think?
Still didn't answer.
Okay. So while Neil and Sarah and everybody else are working on it, Jenna, do you know what is meant by beta?
Yes.
Okay, okay. So when I call you guys by kid, beta and all, it's the same thing, okay? You guys are pretty much like my kids, okay? Alright. I'll give you guys one more minute, okay? Whoever is working on it, I'll give you guys one more minute so that we can come to a conclusion. So far I have been asking the kids to explain how did they arrive at the answer. Okay? This time I'll go take a different route, different approach. So let me handpick Neil and Sarah, or one of you. Okay? So now tell me, beta, when you are thinking about it, or when you say you are working on it, I want to understand what is that you are working on, how you are approaching this problem, what is cooking up in your mind.
Okay, so I think that like the variable is 11a, right?
Uh-huh.
And I know it, it's like I know what the variable is 11a. Just I'm still thinking on like how to like put like the problem together. That like yeah.
Okay. Now you are thinking in the right direction. I'll break it down for you guys. Okay, and trust me, math is a subject that is at the mercy of all of us. It is us who can decide to make it difficult or easy. Okay, and I always lean towards making it easy. Think like a child. That's what I'll do. Okay, so before I give it a shot, let me take Nirunya. Do you want to tell me why you think it's B?
I think it's because it's like 11 times each
Uh-huh.
plus. I don't know.
Okay, no, so see, this is a math class, okay? But I lean towards making you guys a good storyteller, meaning whatever you know, if you are able to articulate that, that adds a lot of weight into what you know, okay? Let me hear Dave and then I'll give it a shot. Yes, Dave.
Which is problem was using process elimination. So I know that like every show it's supposed to increase, so we could make out option A because it has division and we know it has multiplication. But then I looked at D and I see that it's adding 11 and 43 and A plus B, which isn't really that useful in our case because you want the individual like show and how many hours, how many like episodes for the show. So we could cancel out C and D because it's not like specific to that show, it's like adding them together. So then we're just stuck with B. That's the answer.
Yeah, I mean, that's another way of looking at it. So we have two options. Either we solve it to get to the right answer, or we eliminate the unwanted answers so that we can filter out the only option that we are that we are wanting to get. Here, and there's no right or wrong approach, okay? We can decide how we want to do it. Now let me think about it like a child. This says there are two episodes that somebody watched. Farah, that's the name, right? So this episode, this show, not episode. Two types of shows that she watched. Show A was every episode 11 minutes. Show B was every episode 43 minutes. So let's say if she watched one show of A and one show of B, how much time she would have spent? 11 minutes plus 43 minutes, she would have spent total 54 minutes. But what we are told is she spent a total of 196 minutes. So she would have watched certain number of shows of this and certain number of shows of this. That's what is given to us. A is the number of shows of first show, and B the number of episodes of second show. So if it was 1, this was the total. If she watched 2 of this and 2 of this, that would have been some value. We don't know how many episodes of each show that she watched, but we are told that A is the number of shows that she watched of the show A, and B the number of episodes that she watched of the show B. So if she watched A number of shows of A number of episodes of show A, that means for every episode she spent this much minute. And she watched B number of episodes of second show, which is 43 minutes, and that's what is adding up to 196. So this was a much straightforward calculation, because you are given the number of shows of number of episodes of show A and number of episodes of show B. That is given to us. So we just have to say, okay, every episode of show A is 11 minutes. Multiply that many minutes. Every episode of show B is 43 minutes. So multiply that with the number of shows that is given to us. And this is the representation. So without elimination also we can do it. However, these look fancy, but if you look at this doesn't actually make much sense here. When you add these two shows, times A times B, I mean, how do you, A times B, let's say you watch one show of this and 3 shows of this. A times B gives you 3, and then you are multiplying that with the sum of this. That doesn't make sense, right? Nobody has told us the number of shows watched, number of episodes watched for show A, number of episodes watched of show B has any relationship here. So we'll probably not go that far. This was my only doubt in the beginning, that will it be this divided by this? No, this doesn't make sense, because this is the number of episodes of both the shows, and every show will take this into that many minutes. So that is how this one is becoming our obvious thing, and that is how everybody gave the same answer. Yeah? Did that make sense to everybody, or it made sense to only me? Okay. Alright. So make sure that I am not teaching it for myself, because everything that I do on the board, that will make perfect sense to me, but that is not the purpose. So keep stopping me, keep asking me to repeat, keep asking me to explain it once, twice, thrice, 4 times. Okay? Don't hesitate, don't be shy. Alright, let's go to the next problem and see what is happening here. This time I'm picking up a little tricky looking problem, okay? And then we'll go to graph related stuff. Let me jump onto graph, because again. Okay, let's pick one more problem and then we'll go to graph. This one says, a cellular phone salesperson earns an annual base salary of $25,000. See how much effort I'm putting to read the question, okay? Because that is where the success criteria lies. A cellular phone salesperson earns an annual base salary of $25,000. Annual base salary of $25,000. Okay. Additionally, the salesperson earns a 10% commission on their total sales. 10% commission on their total sales. If you think like a child, like I always do. So that 10% commission. So this is the fixed annual base salary. And additionally, the salesperson earns a 10% commission on their total sales. So if I want to wrap up this in my mind, okay, if this guy sold worth $1,000, he will get a $100 commission, 10% of that. So he'll get a $100 as a commission. Okay, just additional information. Which of the following function best models the salesperson's total annual earning? E, when they bill $S in total cost. So this is saying, which of the below model, which of the following functions best models the salesperson's total annual earning E when they bill $S in total sales? So E is the total earning, S is the total sales. That's what it says. Now we are given 4 options, and I will give you guys only 5 minutes for solving this so that we can look at some interesting graph related problems. First one says E of S equals 0.10 times 25,000 into S. Okay. Second one says ES, total earning,
as a function of S sales equals 25,000 plus 0.10 S. Third option says E as a function, total earning as a function of sales equals 0.10 plus 25,000 S. Option D says E as a function of sales equals 25,000 divided by 0.10 S.
Now, everybody heard the question, right? Let me read it one last time and then I'll let you guys do the gymnastics with this problem. A cellular phone salesperson earns annual base salary of 25,000. Additionally, the salesperson earns a 10% commission on their total sales. Which of the following functions best models the salesperson's total earning E when they bill S dollars in total sales? Total earnings E for the total sales of S. And these are 4 options you guys have, and everybody has only 2 minutes. Let's see what Ritika says. Which one?
I think it's B.
Okay. One answer. How about Jinnah? Jinnah. Okay, sorry beta. I'm trying my best. Okay.
But I also think B.
You also think it's B? Purvi.
Yeah, I also think B.
All friends are coming together. How about Saranya?
I think it's B.
One more friend in the same group. Dave.
Also think it's B.
Everybody is coming together. That's what is called unity. Okay. Any other answer? Any other response? Sarah, Neil, Chris, Haswita, Nirunya, Sahib. Sahib, very quiet today. You are better off in the class. I see you more active in the classroom better.
I think it's B too.
You also think it's B? Okay. Sarah, Neil, Ria. What happened, Ria? Ria is not talking to me today. Okay. So let me just, so now Sarah, Neil, you guys can hear me okay, right? Ria, Haswita, Nirunya, everybody?
Yes, sir. Just a little echo.
Okay. So which option you guys are leaning towards? Which option you guys are leaning towards? Okay, let me pick Sahib this time. So Sahib, tell me why you think it's B. I mean, explain that. I'll make sure that you guys become storytellers soon. Tell me your story. Sahib, your turn. You guys are not supposed to be so shy. Okay, Ritika, tell me why you think it's B?
So I chose B because so they said that the base salary was 25,000.
Mhm.
So then it's gonna they'll start off with 25,000, and then you have to add something because it says it's a 10% commission,
Uh-huh.
and then 10% is like 0.10.
Right.
So then you can multiply it by like the sales. So depending on how many sales, it would be B. So it would be 25,000 plus 0.1 times S.
Does everybody agree with what Ritika said? Yeah. It's very simple, right? So this says this is the annual fixed salary, or annual base salary. So this is not going to change. This has nothing to do with the sales. It says this is the annual base salary, and additionally, meaning something
is added on the top of this. How? That is based on sales. 10% commission. So if this guy does a sale of, he does $100 in sales booking, he will get 10% of that. 10%, cent is 100. So that is 0.1. So $100, he gets 100 into 0.1. We don't know how much he has sold. If you are looking at a generic equation, 0.1 into his sales. So 25,000 is fixed. This plus 10% is 0.1 of his sales. No other choice. Yep. Does that make sense to everybody? Aswita, Nirunya, Sarah, Neil, everybody? Yeah. Okay. Now let's move away from this mathematical problem to something more pictorial in nature. Let's see what we can do. So now, so far what we have done is, we have done nothing new. We have not learned anything new so far. And Jenna must be thinking that I joined the class and I have not learned anything so far. But that's okay. Math is more about knowing the concepts and applying it more. So here the word problems are the most tricky part of your test. And more you practice the word problems, that is where you will see your confidence or your comfort level will keep on increasing. Okay. So let's look at one other problem, and this problem is a little different from what we have been doing so far. So we are moving towards graph now. We have 7 more minutes in the class. So we'll do our jump start with the graphs and we'll do a few more problems in the class tomorrow. So that way, linear equations, slope-intercept form, standard form, and then we move to interpreting the models, creating the models based on the information we had in the word problems. Now we are moving towards graph. So this is a graph that we have in the question, and now all the kids who have seen my awesome drawing skills, they'll be okay. For Jenna, it will be an eye-opener, and she will think what kind of drawing skill this gentleman has got. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now we have okay. All right. So this is what we have on the graph. This is your x-axis. This is your y-axis. 0, 1, 2, 3. These are the units chosen. And then, so Rayans, you are 5 minutes early for the class. Just stay there as if you are not there, and then we'll start your class in 5 minutes. Okay? Rudra, come and sit down as if you are not in the classroom. Turn it down so that you don't make any sound. Okay, so this is the graph that we have, where you can see that this is the x-axis, this is the y-axis, and this line is beating at -3 on the x-axis and at 1 on the y-axis. And these are other points. Rudra, don't make any sound. You have to stand still. Now the question says, the graph of the linear function f is shown in the xy plane above. The graph of the linear function g, not shown, is perpendicular to the graph of f. So there is a graph that is perpendicular to this one, okay, and passes through point 1, -5. 1, -5. So that is not shown here. So it will be somewhere here 3, 4, 5. What is the value of g -2? So this one that you are seeing here is function of x, I mean, this one is y as a function of x, and there's some equation, okay, which is plotting this line. It says the graph of linear function g, not shown here. So there's a linear function which is perpendicular to this one, okay, and it passes through 1 comma minus 5, and that is g of x, which is perpendicular to this guy, okay. It says find out the value of g of 2, meaning what you have to do here is you have to look at this linear equation, find out the equation of the line perpendicular to this, and then find out the value of g of 2. So with the time that we have, I don't think we can solve this problem, but I want you guys to think about it and tell me what is going on in your mind right now. So this is the graph given to us, where this line is given to us, which is y as a function of x, and there is a other linear function which is perpendicular to this one and passes through this point. Okay, so there is another clue given to us. Now we have to find out what is the value of g of 2. So first we have to find out what this equation is. Let's say this equation is nothing but 2x plus 9. Then we have to find out what is my this function is. Let's say this comes out to be minus 1 by 2 plus 6. 1 by 2x plus 6. Then you have to put the value of 2 here and then solve it. Yes, let's see what Purvi has to say.
I think the questions asked through g of -2 and
Doesn't say so, but that's okay. Be it g of -2. That is also okay. I mean, once you find this equation, you will put a value of x equal to -2. That's also fine. But first thing first is you have to find out what is the equation. Come on in, come on in. Hello, beta. Be careful with the wire, don't trip on that. So I want you guys to think about this problem, and then we'll meet in the next class. Okay? And we'll break our head with this one. There are 2-3 concepts that you have to know. We will look at the slope intercept form to find out the slope of this equation and find out the slope of this equation. Convert this into an equation, then we'll try solving it. Okay? Yeah?
this is not our class.
Alright, so I'll let you guys go. And
This class is, I don't know who.
kids, go quiet. All the kids who are joined for level 1, they have to stay quiet because we are wrapping up the class for level 3. Okay? And then we'll start your class. So don't keep murmuring in the background. That disturbs. Okay? Alright. I'll let all the kids from level 3 go. Enjoy the rest of the evening, and we'll talk about the graphs and all the related concepts and some problems related to that in the class tomorrow. Will that be okay?
Sir.
Alright. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir.
Alright. See you guys at the same time tomorrow. Yeah. Alright.